If you're like me and you live in rented property, subscribe to the channel because you might find this interesting. It's a bit of a viral story, actually, and I want to bring it to you, see what you think. First of all, I want to show you this guy. His name is Samuel Leeds, and Samuel is a property developer and quite a wealthy one at that. Very, very successful multi-millionaire property developer, still quite young, only in his early 30s. So he's done quite well for himself, and rightly so. Samuel Leeds has his own YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to that in the description below so you can go and check him out. And what Samuel does, he gives property advice on, all manner of ways you can get on the property ladder, how to invest your money wisely in property and all this sort of thing, and all the various ways in which you can accumulate a portfolio, including managed service arrangements, buying a house and converting it into separate rooms and renting them out separately. There's all manner of ways. Well, Samuel has courted controversy over the last couple of days or so, and this headline came up: landlord who took chainsaw to tenant's door in shocking footage admits to GB News it was a stunt. Well, what that was, it was I'm not going to play it because I know it's actually been banned by one social media network already. It was a 26-second piece of video footage of him taking a chainsaw to a front door, cutting a very large square in it to obviously gain access to the place. And the whole idea was to forcibly evict a tenant. You can see there a screen capture from the video where he was cutting a hole in the place, and there he is with the finished article. So, tenant get out. Well, as per usual, the media have seen this on social media and they've run with it. And it looks on the face of it that Samuel Leeds tried to forcibly evict one of his own tenants. Well, there's several problems with this. Number one, he will be well aware of the law and he knows he can't just take a chainsaw to somebody's door. Number two, the property was actually empty. It was it was bought as a hotel, a house converted into separate rooms. And number three, and most importantly of all, it was a publicity stunt, because he knew if he did that and it was on film, you can see the pictures and the footage and everything. If you go looking, the media would be all over it. And it's designed to illustrate a point, effectively the demonization of landlords, because he makes a point, and he was asked this by Patrick Christie's on GB News: if somebody's in one of your properties and they don't pay their rent, then surely it'd be all right because you've got a few million quid in the bank. He said, well, if you go into Asda's, take their bread and don't pay for it, is that all right? Because they've got a few million quid in the bank. It's the same principle. So he was trying to make the point that, no, it's not okay. And he says he's one of the most compassionate landlords in Britain. I know from where I followed him and had a look, he's a very spiritual, religious man. And even one of my own children paid to go on one of his courses and learned quite a lot from him. So, there's a lot more to this story, as most ones that meet the eye. And to clarify, I'll pull this up. This is from Shelter, and it is what is an illegal eviction. So, a legal eviction, landlords and letting agents must follow the correct procedure to evict tenants. It's an illegal eviction if your landlord or anyone acting on your behalf forces to leave by threatening or harassing you, kicks you out or uses physical force to make you leave, stops you from getting into parts of your home, or changes the locks while you're out. All of these things are considered illegal evictions. And Samuel would have been well aware that what he did in that video, he would have never gotten away with as much as he might have wanted to. It's just a whole publicity stunt that's been blown out of proportion. And I'll leave you with this parting story. The landlord that I rent my house off, they own, I think it's 5 properties in the local area. And during the times where we couldn't go out and we had to stay at home, you know what I'm talking about there, one of the guys that lived in one of the houses was a self-employed builder, lost all of his work. And you know what the landlord said? Don't worry about it. Just catch up when you're back to work again. And that's exactly what they did. They could see it for what it was. So, yes, there are a lot of rogue ones out there. There are very bad ones, in fact. there's an equal measure of good ones too. Let me know what you think of this story in the comments below. You want to see one of my other videos, you can start with this one here. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.